So just a follow-up from arriving back at the retreat. It's now Monday. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon. Got here this morning with just Lady. I just watched the video that I did last night on my laptop, explaining Friday's ceremony and the transition. And it's great to be back. I had a great chat with Maestro. As soon as we got here, I gave Christian my big shaman pipe that I don't use, and he's chuffed to bits with that as a present for all the help that he's walked me back so many times, wobbling all over the place and pants falling down, and we just both of us laughing, blasted on ayahuasca, with him having to take me back to look after me, and so he was chuffed with that. So Lady contacted me this morning because Gina contacted me first and said we're gonna. About 7 o'clock this morning, I texted him and said, I'll see you at 10:30. And the next thing, Lady rang me up and said, are you ready to leave? And it's about 9 o'clock. I just got out of the shower, and so I said, I'll need half an hour. Because Gino had texted me and said that the new client, their flight's been delayed. They should have arrived this morning, but it's been delayed till 5 a.m. tomorrow now. So a bit of bad planning on their part, because you should get here before, at least a day before, and have a night in a hotel. So who knows what's gone on there? Don't know who the person is or where they're from or anything yet. So Gina's got to stay behind and another day in Iquitos and wait for them. Because this is a problem. It does happen, people's flights, but you should plan for that. If you're coming to do an ayahuasca ceremony that's costing you $1,000 a week, you'd think you'd have the foresight to not try and save the money on a $12 night in a hotel, because they'll miss tonight's ceremony on Monday. But that's great. There's only me and Brian. I mean, not great for them, but it's just wait. Should have planned it better, right? Giving yourself time to get into Iquitos and rest, and after flying, and then be ready for the next day to be picked up, and allow for anything like flight delays or anything like that might happen. But anyway, that's people's own business. It could be a good reason, who knows. But anyway, so it's only me and Brian tonight, and as soon as I got here, Maestro was here, so we all sat around and smoked some apacho, and he told another few of his good stories. I gave him the phone. He's chuffed to bits with that, and I said I've learnt my dieta list alphabetically, except for Pino Colorado that I'd forgotten in the last video. I haven't done one of these videos for a while because I haven't wanted to for 5 weeks. That hex just put me in such a negative space. I didn't want to do anything to do with ayahuasca, and certainly not make them or send them to anybody, not public. All my ayahuasca stuff's been offline for months because when I was going through the shit, I just thought I'm not attracting any more attention. I just wanted to leave it all behind, because as far as I was concerned, after the last dieta last March with Rusbel, that was the journey over. I was finished. I'd walked away. So when things were going wrong, I had no reason to suspect any of that was down to cross dietas, which it wasn't really. Yes, they were misaligned, but they weren't incorrect. As I said in that last video. So anyway, talking to Maestro today, and I rattled off. I said, I found out. I made sure I went back and looked at my videos, so I knew all of the dietas I've done. I've done the 8. I've missed Pino Colorado off that alphabetical list, so I told them to him, and he said, right, tonight, he said, I'm going to, in ceremony tonight, we were joking about Friday and having a big cup, and that really strong one that was just bonkers when I was feeling all of that energy, and Christian was joking, another full cup tonight. And he said, for Steve, yeah. He said, yeah, same as Friday, same amount. Go there again. But this time what he's going to do in ceremony is actually connect me to those dieta plants. So that's the first step. So tonight should be a really interesting ceremony for me. I have no idea what it's going to be like. And there's only me and Brian. So it was nice to see Brian again. He's just had a quiet weekend. So I did manage to get a bit broken sleep last night, but I managed to get sleep about 12:30, and I was awake at 5:30, so at least I've had some sleep. I've got a couple of stars in this eye, so I'm still looking a bit ragged, because the last 5 weeks has been fucking draining with everything that's been going on, and having to run around, come here first, and then do a second retreat at another place to fix the dietas, supposedly, which, well, you know, they probably didn't need fixing. But anyway, it's all part of it. And it was nice to see another retreat, how that works at Morosa, and meet, again, probably on somebody else's Aya path, certainly Shelby's, to help her on her journey of becoming a shamana that she wants to be, because she had so little self-control. She was vocalized. She's one of these terrible people for vocalizing everything in ceremony, so I had a word with her about it, and she took it all on board. So, maybe that was also part of what my job was to be taken to that retreat to help other people, and certainly Danny and Roberta to help them, and a couple of the American girls, the one that fell over and banged her head on the floor when she passed out, to give them the benefit of my experience, etc. So maybe that was just an aside, but all under the guise of redoing dietas just for 4 days each of the 3, under the shaman's perception that it was the dietas that were causing my problem because they were crossed. But it turns out, according to Maestro Antonor, it wasn't. They have been done correctly, all of my 1 and 2 week ones done over the last 3.5 years. So, but because they were just misaligned from having different shamans do them. So again, everything comes out in the wash with an explanation when the time is right. Everything happens as it should when the time is right. That's the saying, a common saying in ayahuasca. So, eventually everything resolves. It's just part of the tests before you get the answers to make sure that you stayed on the path and suffered sufficiently to prove yourself worthy. That's the conclusion where I am, as I said in the last video. So it'd be really interesting tonight, because I have no idea. It's going to be a strong one. I'm really looking forward to it after Friday, but I also know that you're never going to get the same thing twice. That whole energy build up and the cracking up laughing. I mean, it could be completely different. It might be serious. It could be weird as fuck. I don't know what it's going to be like to be actually connected. Whether he does them all at once, connects all the 8 plants to me. I mean, that in itself sounds like it could be a bit of Friday kind of going on, but you just don't know. So there's no point. You just don't have any expectations. But I am looking forward to it, because obviously it's another level of where I am since Friday. And so this is, again, it just goes in levels. The first year healing, the second year going further, this third year terrible. The travel through Asia with all of the shit that was going on, and me knowing nothing about it, not putting it down to the ayahuasca or the plants at all, because as far as I was concerned, it was all closed and finished with and done, and I'd walked away. I'd finished. That was my path, and I'd finished. It was back to normal life for me. And Mama does this. She makes you believe certain things just so that she knows what's going to happen next. And it's how you handle it, and what you suffer, or what's necessary to continue. And you don't even know you're continuing. And then, getting the job in Honduras, proving to myself that I could do it, proving under the stress of the rash and the eczema, doing the month's TEFL course when I didn't really feel that that's what I wanted to do, but I stuck it out, even though, despite walking away. These are all things that you've got through when you didn't really want to do them, and it was difficult, and it continues, all leading to Friday, to the transition. And now it's the first day of a new level of being past that point, of transcending that shamanistic boundary. And now the first stage is to be connected to the plants. And then what will that bring? I have no idea. What he'll say tomorrow, and then maybe more advice about, right, okay, you're now connected to the plants. You're going to have to meditate on them every day. I don't know. So it's just one day at a time this week for what, again, I perceive as the last ceremony, the last retreat, rather. Because he won't be here in future. He doesn't come back for quite a while. He's got at least 2 weeks off himself, where he's got to have to do a dieta and relax and clean, because he's done 2. This is going to be his second week. Yeah, that's so, because they do 2 weeks at a time, and then they need a break. Either to do a dieta themselves, to clean themselves and get healthy again and recharged. So it should be really interesting tonight. Whatever it's like, even if it's unpleasant or difficult, it's still going to be friggin' interesting. What's going to happen to be connected to 8 plants, and then what that means. For the remaining 2 ceremonies, well 3, because we've got tonight, and then after tonight it will be connected, and then what Wednesday and then Friday again will bring, and what I'm going to learn once I'm connected to the plants, and then still doing ayahuasca ceremonies. I have no idea. So no expectations, and just let it unfold, as you always have to do with ayahuasca. Just let it unfold, and go from there. So, little addendum to the video that I did yesterday. So I'll try and have a bit of another kit. But I've missed lunch today. Again, Brian had lunch. It was only white cabbage and salad and whatever else. Not a lot. He's still not at the stage where he's prepared to not have lunches. Maybe with me coaxing him on. But everyone's got to do what they feel. If they feel they need the energy. But he's had a pretty good rest of the weekend. Not too bad. But this weekend I was in that space of being exhausted but energetic. Couldn't restless. Just couldn't really. I knew I had to sleep, but I just couldn't. I had things to do. I had to fix the other phone, get the charging port done, because that had broken during the dark energy. The phone dropped on the floor, attached to the cable, so that broke the other one. So I'm back down to the 2 Samsungs now, having given away the Xiaomi, which I don't like anyway. I hate the operating system and the way it works, but so it's nice to give that to Maestro. And he's wonderful. He was talking about snake bites today, being bitten on the snake when he was a kid, and his father was alive then, giving him medicine and curing it, and talking about scorpions and but Christian had to translate a lot of that for me. I couldn't understand a lot of his Spanish today, but he's always prepared to have a good old yarn. Antonori's great, so I think he's a great guy to learn a lot from. So anyway, just have to see what his suggestions are in the shaman chat tomorrow. Have to see what happens tonight, and just get as much information out of him as possible with whatever he offers, and go from there. But I'm looking pretty baggy on this eye, because I just didn't we didn't get. It was a difficult week last week, and it's been a hell 5 weeks for me since getting here, and coming from Honduras with my skin and the flights, freezing to death on the flights. So I went to see Ida as well. I just wanted to get that out of the way, and I was really curious what I've got left there, clothes-wise. So she did have my big gold jacket that I bought in Ecuador, because I love that jacket, but it was too hot here to ever wear it. But I thought, no, I definitely, whatever happens, if I have to fly again, long distance, and fucking freezing on these planes, it wrecks my skin, and it drains me of energy, being frozen to death. I hate the cold. So I definitely wanted to have my jacket back, and I found my 2 other alpaca or llama wool cardis that I bought in Ecuador, the green one and the purplish white one. So I've got them with me, but when I go back to the hotel, I'll have to try and squeeze them into the rucksack somehow. It's fucking full, I don't know, but anyway, definitely wanted those. So saw Ida for an hour, had a good chat with her, and told her everything that had gone on, and had a big meal yesterday. I had a lovely, massive, really nice piece of chicken. It was too much. It lasted me all day. I wasn't hungry at all in the night, but I did have some ciabatta bread with banana last night, and a bit of fried plantain. So I wasn't hungry at all this morning, but I had a banana before I left, and then skipped lunch. Just again, got to be done. Maximise this whole week in this, in this new phase, and just go from there. So anyway, that's that done.